All right, at about 30 seconds. All right, guys, so let's take a look at this. This is our last thing for the week. Friday, woo, you made it. Hopefully, I guess you might not be watching this. Maybe you didn't make it. That'd be sad. So let's take a look. Friday, this week on Friday, all we're giving out to you is our problem solving, okay? So you're going to get problem solving every week. It's just one of those things that we work on every single week. All right, so just a heads up, though. On Fridays, you will not always just get problem solving. We're doing it this week just to kind of warm up into getting things done. Now, the problem solving that you're getting is supposed to be due next Thursday. So you're supposed to have an entire week to work on it. So it shouldn't be something that, you're going to mom and dad and complaining, I've worked on this for 2 hours and it's not done. That's okay, because it wasn't really supposed to get done all in one day. This is something that is supposed to roll into your normal math work time. The reason we're giving it out on Friday is it gives you a chance to be able to look over it a little bit on Friday, so that if you have questions about it on Monday, you can already start talking about it with me. Because if on Monday it's the first time you look at it, you're not going to have questions at that point. So we waste a whole session of being able to meet. So here is our goal. We're going to go ahead and take a look, same as we've done over and over and over again. We're going to look at the real life example from my wonderful daughter Stella's computer, okay, even though she doesn't know I took her computer. All right, so looking at it, so imagine going through. Here we go. So we're on our home page for math. She opens up the week. We've made it to Friday, so we're at the bottom of the module. Open up problem solving. All right, and taking a look, here we go. Now, here's the thing that's going to throw some people off, okay? We're going to hit this take the quiz button, okay? So as I hit this take the quiz button, some of you are going to start to wonder, wait a second, this said problem solving, but you're saying this is a quiz. What's going on? Okay, I know that it's called a quiz, but it isn't actually a quiz. Do we grade things? Yeah, you should assume that anything you turn into me is graded. You should assume you should be doing something well enough that when you turn it in, you're like, A. That's what I'm expecting it. I'm not really expecting it, A. I'm expecting that everything you work hard on. If you're submitting something and I'm taking the time to take a look at it, I shouldn't hear from you 2 weeks later going, wait a second, that's for a grade? I looked at it, it's probably a grade, okay? But it's not a quiz grade. It's not going to be doubled or times 1.5, but it's the reason they call it a quiz, it's just the formatting that works well for Canvas for problem solving, okay? So don't start thinking, oh, it's the first week of school, they're already giving me tests. A jerk, Mr. Ottaway, what's wrong with him? Nope, it's not a real quiz. It's just problem solving. It's your regular work. It's not a big deal. It's just the label on it, okay? So now what you're going to do for this, you're going to go through and you're going to read the problem. Then you're going to solve the problem in your notebook. You should not be solving any math in your head if you're turning it in thinking you're getting graded. Now, granted, can you do some mental math and get a good estimate for what you think this is going to be? Can you think about what's the operation that you're going to need to do? Yeah, do some good quality thinking before you start writing in your notebook, but then you should still be solving it in your notebook. And there's a couple reasons for that. One, math should be written out, all right? And it shouldn't be in pen because you might need to make adjustments. It should be in pencil. But the other thing to think about is, let's say you get 2 or 3 questions done today, and then you're like, man, that's enough for right now. I'm going to lunch. Peace out. Great, you can do that. That's fine. I'm good with that. In theory, this program will save your information so that when you come back, 1 through 3 are already still done for you, and you can just move on to question 4. You should know by this point in your life that technology does not always work the way that it says that it's supposed to. Now, if you've written down in your notebook what you put for the answer, and Canvas erases out your answers, even though it says it's not going to, it doesn't really matter because you can look back and go, all right, question 1, I put 43. Question 2, -7, or whatever it is that you put, okay? So it shouldn't matter if you write it down in your notebook. Don't come and complain to me that, oh, it erased all my answers, what will I do? Because my answer is, look in your notebook. And then if you respond, but I didn't put it in a notebook, I'll say, then you should have listened when I told you to do your work in a notebook, because that's where your math should be. That's where your work should be. Your math should be in your head, or your work should be in your notebook. Now, one other thing that means is that you shouldn't just be sitting here on a calculator going beep, 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 because a calculator is not always available to you, okay? Yeah, it is sometimes. It's an awesome tool, but my experience is that when fifth graders get reliant on a calculator, they expect that the calculator will do the problem for them. Calculators do not do your work for you, they make your work faster. You have to know how to do your work for a calculator to actually help. You have to know the operation. You have to know if there's more than one operation and what order to do them in. Okay? A calculator does not know that. So me just randomly hitting buttons on a calculator just because they're the numbers that are in the problem is not an accurate way to solve a mathematical problem. You need to use your brain, think about how it needs to be solved. I would write out, hey, this is what I'm trying. And then if you want to use a calculator to make it go a little faster, that's different, that's fine. But you should still have thought about it, put work in your notebook, and then if you need to, use your calculator. Or even better, do the work all the way in your notebook and use a calculator to check it, because that way you can see, did you do the work in your notebook correct, or do you need to work on your multiplication, division, addition, subtraction still? All right, so that's problem solving. I hope this will help. It is due next Thursday, but you can turn it in early if you want to. Ideally, I don't want to go through all of this. When you get all 10 questions filled out, so you get all 10 of these questions filled out, it'll tell you that you're done and you can hit submit. You can do it again. It'll tell you which ones you got right or wrong at the end. If you look over here on the side, all the ones with the question mark next to it are ones that I've completed. The check mark are the ones that I completed. The question marks are the ones that are still unanswered. Okay. Now, it tells you down here how much time has elapsed, but there's no recorded amount of time on this. So I could care less if you can do it in 20 minutes or 4 hours. As long as you are able to get through it, it's not overly stressing, because if you have any problems, you should be asking during the week. But I want you to make sure that you have tried it out. It does say attempts due. It does tell you the dates due, the 27th. So try and get it done by Thursday if at all possible. All right. I hope this helped out today. Thanks.